Hi there, everybody. This is David, and I have some exciting news for you. We could be very well living in like the year of SaGa, the year of going back to the basics, the years of finding out what worked back in the golden era and redoing those games and bringing them out for a modern audience. So we have some really exciting news that I do want to go over in today's video, and I think that you're definitely going to be stoked about it just like I am. And I do think that that's worth a sub as I try my hardest to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year. And with your help, your like, and your sub, I do think that I can get there. So, for those of you completely in the dark in so far as what I'm talking about here, we just got a brand new announcement that Romancing SaGa Minstrel Song Remastered International is coming out for the PS5, PS4, and Nintendo Switch, both physically and digitally in early 2025. It is a remaster of this game right here that I originally got for the PS2. And this was back whenever games came with, instruction booklets and everything else and all that. Why do I have two instruction booklets? What is going on? I don't know. Don't ask these questions. Bought this game over 20 years ago, and who knows what happened over the course of 20 years, but anyway, it is there. This is actually some really good news, because not only are we getting Romancing SaGa Minstrel Song, but we're also getting Romancing SaGa 2, Revenge of the Seven. So, wouldn't that mean that we're probably going to be getting Romancing SaGa 3 as well? Just kind of completing the trilogy? Just makes sense to me. So first, let's go over what exactly Romancing SaGa Minstrel Song Remastered has. First things first, it's going to be coming out in not only English, but French, Italian, German, and Spanish for the first time ever. It was never localized into those languages before. And not only that, but we're getting it physically, and we're getting a collector's edition. Just a couple of months ago, we got SaGa Emerald Beyond, the latest entry in the SaGa series, and it only came out digitally. And now we're getting physical? Like, now, not only are we getting physicals, but we're getting collector's editions of the SaGa series. The SaGa series is back with a vengeance. This collector's edition seems to be, it has like everything in it. It's so cool. It has a copy of the game with a reversible cover, an exclusive sleeve with alternate cover art, a manual? Maybe two manuals? No, just a manual. A PVC keychain, all that kind of really cool stuff. It has a steel case. It has an art book. It has 3 postcards as well. So that is just so nice. If you haven't played Romancing SaGa Minstrel Song, let me just talk about the Romancing SaGa series in general. Just to let's back up a minute. Back in the day, back whenever I was a little kid, we did get the SaGa series, but we only got the first 3 games on the Game Boy. They were just known as SaGa 1, 2, and 3. Then the SNES came around and we got the Romancing SaGa series, but they only stayed in Japan. There were 3 games in the Romancing SaGa series, all 3 of them fantastic, all 3 of them stayed in Japan. Then we got SaGa Frontier 1 and 2. Those finally came out in English for the PlayStation. So we skipped out, we did not get the Romancing SaGa series, but they've rectified that lately. We did get remasters of the Romancing SaGa series over on the Steam and everything else a couple of years back, so we have been able to play that. But these are complete remakes from the ground up. The Romancing SaGa Minstrel Song is a complete remake. It's not a remaster. The Romancing SaGa 2 Revenge of the Seven, that is coming out on October 24th. That is also a complete remake as well. This is not just a straight port. These are complete remakes. So it just makes sense if they're coming out with Romancing SaGa 2 remake, the Romancing SaGa Minstrel Song remake, they're obviously going to be remaking the 3rd game in the series too. And another thing, speaking of, the year of SaGa, we already know that SaGa Frontier 2 Remaster is coming as well. This one is just a remaster, it's not a remake, but this one is coming too. This one was teased by the creator of SaGa himself, so we know that that one is coming probably next year, just like, the Romancing SaGa Minstrel Song is going to be coming next year, so that's really frickin' fantastic, and I cannot wait for these games. So now I just want to spend a little bit of time talking about these games, what they're all about, because I think a lot of people don't really know a lot about SaGa and don't really know just how fun they are. First of all, they are completely open-ended games. You have a complete open world. You get to choose whatever character you want. You begin the game by choosing from a set number of characters. Sometimes it might be 6 characters, sometimes 8 characters. I know that it's 8 for Romancing Saga 1 and 3. And then you kind of like, you do your opening scenario, and then you're just kind of like let loose into the world. And you can complete side quests, or you can go ahead and you can just complete your mission and try to finish the game. It's completely up to you insofar as how you want to play these games, which does make it a lot of fun. Also, not only can you play the game non-linearly, but the battle system is kind of non-linear too. It's turn-based, which is always fun, and you can have a ton of party members in your team, like 6 party members in your team, so that's a lot of fun because there's a lot of characters out there that you can recruit. You'll recruit characters just based upon like where you're going in the story, just upon your path, and you'll also recruit different characters based upon what side quests you complete as well. So it does behoove you to complete as many side quests as possible to get as many different characters. Each character levels up differently according to their attributes. Like, let's say that you recruit like a warrior, and he's really good at swords, so you're going to want to use his sword attacks, and the more that you use them, the more his sword attacks will level up, and then you'll get Glimmer special sword skills for him. Let's say that you go ahead and you recruit like a thief or something. They might have some special skills of stealing and all that, or some dagger attacks that they can do, or an archer, you know, they would specialize in bow and arrow attacks and deal damage that way. So you can really outfit your team however it is that you want to, and it's a whole lot of fun. Each game also has its own different storyline, and I just want to really quickly go over the stories that they have. The first game, it's basically your stereotypical good versus evil story. There's, you know, the good god versus the bad god, and then the bad god was like sealed away and everything. But, you know, years have passed, and the seal is weakening, and the gods are reviving again. So you have to go in and you have to seal away that evil god again. In Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven, that's actually kind of like a really cool one, because it has to deal with like bloodlines and generations, and you are like the king of a kingdom, obviously. And as you go ahead and you fight, you defend your kingdom, and you go into other kingdoms, and you forge alliances and everything else, you're going to grow older, and you're going to die. And there's like an inheritance system, and you and your son or your daughter, whoever, will inherit your powers as you continually go through all the generations. And then the third game in the series, again, it's kind of like a good versus evil sort of thing, but it's a whole lot of fun. But it's kind of similar to the first game, where you have to, you know, seal away the evil gods and seal them behind these abyss gates. And there's 4 different abyss gates that you have to seal away, and once you do, you'll complete the game. But of course, there's tons of other stuff to do in the meantime, and there's so much replay value in these games. It is just fantastic. You can never go wrong with a SaGa game. And with SaGa Frontier 2 on the way, and then we got the recently announced Romancing Saga 1. We already know about Romancing Saga 2. We know Romancing Saga 3 is on the way. There'd be no way that they're going to redo Romancing Saga 1 and 2, and we put out Emerald Beyond, and they're doing SaGa Frontier 2, and they're just gonna skip Romancing Saga 3? Ain't never gonna happen. We're totally getting this game, folks, and I am so looking forward to it. Now I want to hear from you in the comments. What do you feel about the SaGa series? Do you enjoy it as much as I do? Let me know, and as always, have a good day.